Now it's just coming up to 6.47. House prices have been going up in recent years, but some experts predict that they could actually fall next year as the market slows. This, of course, in the wake of the vote to leave the European Union.
Yeah, the picture, though, is far from clear, isn't it? Even within just one street, there are many complicating factors. Victoria is out and about for us today in Peterborough. What's the picture there, Victoria? Good morning.
Good morning to you both. Good morning to you at home. Well, as you say, very much a varied picture. One might say actually follows the weather forecast from Alex there. Very complex picture indeed. So I'm here on Lincoln Road. It's about 5 miles long. It snakes through most of Peterborough. There are 49 properties for sale on this road alone. The most expensive one on the market for £850,000. The cheapest is a 2-bed flat. It's £90,000. So huge variation in what is available, even on one road alone. Now, we took a local agent, Terry Lucking, around 3 of them to show us what's hot and what's not in the local area.
This is a very typical 3-bedroom family house. It was sold earlier this year for £148,000. That's £2,000 less than it was sold 10 years ago. If it goes back on the market today, it would sell for about £155,000. We've come just half a mile up the road from our last house, and this property was sold in 2012 for £242,000. If we were to remarket the property now, we'd be looking to achieve offers in excess of £325,000. Back in 2008, these apartments were selling at £140,000. Now they're selling at about £105,000 to £110,000. That's a £30,000 to £35,000 drop. But it's not all doom and gloom. Peterborough's transport link to King's Cross by 2018 is going to come down to less than 40 minutes, so we can expect to see some good capital growth.
So there you go. So lots of change when it comes to even properties within a single road. Now I've got Terry and I've got Kate Faulkner with me now. Now Terry, in your experience, what's the sort of the main driver of property prices here in Peterborough?
Population increase, people choosing to live in particular areas. We're here in Warrington at the moment, and this is a very sought-after village. And as more people choose to live here, and there's lack of supply, so if not enough house building going on, house prices will continue to increase.
Yeah, now Kate, that does seem to be the national picture, doesn't it? That supply always seems to be the issue, not enough houses and perhaps not enough of the right ones either.
Well, that's the whole point, is that when Terry mentioned population, you've got people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, we've got an ageing population, so demand differs at different stages. And what I think that people really need to understand is, although we hear these average house price increases, when it comes down to your property on your road, there's so many things to consider when it comes to the house price. Is your property right next to a dual carriageway and you open your window onto it and there it is? Or is it actually just further up the road and it's actually further back and it's in a nice quiet spot of that road, whether it's a bungalow, whether it's a detached, whether it's a flat? So it's lots of things go in. I think the important thing that I've learned is that your local agent who understands those anomalies is really the only person that can tell you what your house is worth here and now and what the expectations are that you can have, as opposed to national stats.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, how damaging is the idea of having nationals and having averages, because they're coming out every month, aren't they?
They are, and for me, they're kind of more damaging. So we saw a stage back in 2004 actually, whereby since then places like Peterborough have grown at different values to somewhere like Harrogate, for example. And now what we're seeing is, since the credit crunch, individual property types on individual roads, just going back to what Terry said about that desire for people to buy and the affordability, are meaning that even on one road you can get prices going up, down, staying the same. So I don't like averages if you're buying, selling or investing in property, or you're trying to remortgage, because they're not necessarily relevant to what's happening to your particular property.
Yeah, Terry, lots of variation on this road alone. I mean, even behind us, we've got cottages, we've got a 1930s house for sale over there. Just beyond those trees, we've got some very fancy houses that are off the road. I mean, what are the ones that tend to sell? What are the ones that tend to do a bit better on average?
Well, the greatest demand in this area is for 2 and 3 bedroom small family houses, which are really more like starter homes, and also for 3 and 4 bedroom family properties. And they're the properties that have got the greatest demand in Peterborough. City centre living has also become extremely popular again. The regeneration of the city centre in Peterborough is great. Peterborough has been made more attractive for 2018 when the rail commute time to King's Cross is going to be below 40 minutes. So it actually makes it local. Where else in the UK can you buy a house for 250,000? It's a 150-metre house with 4 bedrooms and a double garage and be less than 40 minutes to King's Cross.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Although lots of the houses here, well, they're about 26% below the national average, despite that short commute into London. Although £250,000 or anything like it is a lot of money, isn't it, for any house around the rest of the country. Now, we're going to get the nationwide housing price figures coming out in about 5 minutes' time. So we're going to bring you an update after 7 with what's going on average across the country when it comes to house prices.
Victoria, thank you. Interesting picture there. And lovely weather. It looks really pretty there this morning, doesn't it?
Despite Alex's picture at the end of the weather,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous in Peterborough today.